Hey YouTube. Hey, how are ya? I'm Master Lukey. I'd like to welcome you to this program. I'm a former UFC fighter. I'm Long Island's only life food certified chef. I got that certification from Dr. David Jubb. I'm his top student. How's that? Took me under his wing because I got the notable face, having been an ultimate fighter and still in mixed martial arts. My mission is to get famous again through my new, safer MMA rule set, and then through the back door bring in my brand of health food, which is Life Food Certified. So thank you, David Jubb. You gave me a new lease on life over and over again. I'm not going to go into how many times you saved my life, but it's my mission to do that for everyone else, as many people as I can. One love, one nation, one family. I got this for my dad for Father's Day, and I got one for me because he and I both have been buying these, and you got a couple of downsides to that. There's the never-ending cost. This you could say is never-ending because you got to replace the filters, but there's also the plastic leaching supposedly, and then this is it's just, we're gonna see if this is a good product. So it's a product review. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to make a soup with this sesame ginger soup base that I made on Sunday. You can go back and check that video out, see how it's made. And I'm gonna use this water because the soup base is really flavorful, so I'm gonna dilute it a little bit with this water here. So let's see. 0 dissolved solids. Wow, for the purest tasting water. This reminds me when I was married with children and I had UFC money, I purchased a whole house water filtration system. So not only did the water coming into the house get filtered for bathing and washing dishes, but bathing too for my sons being newborns. Also, there's a deionizer for the drinking water. So that's medical grade water. And if this is 0 dissolved solids, this is medical grade water as well. Let's see here. I'm gonna go tap water, total dissolved solids, 0 to 1 dissolved solids, meets FDA standards for total dissolved solids levels in purified bottled water. No known municipalities. Okay, so no tap water has that pure water. 2 to 50 total dissolved solids. Naturally occurring in only a few cities, can still have dangerous impurities such as lead. 51 to 200, contaminant levels within typical range. Most water in the USA falls into this grouping. 201 to 300, high contaminant level. Expect slightly lower capacity. 301 to 400, exceptionally high contaminant level. Most users will notice shorter filter life. 401 plus, the highest total dissolved solid water. Expect lower capacity when reducing your water to 0. The higher the influent total dissolved solids, the shorter the lifespan of the filter, as the filter is working harder to remove more impurities. Total dissolved solids are metals, salts, minerals, and runoff that may affect the look and taste of your water. By removing virtually all dissolved solids, you're left with the purest tasting water. Okay, filter subscription program. I got a coupon here. Alright, well. Oh, this is by Brita, huh? Okay, how's that? I'll save these 2 coupons here. So I got my dad one of these, and I also got him a replacement filter pack. And I also am going to buy him some honey because he's a fan of good honey like I am. I'm hoping there's a dissolved meter in here, a total dissolved meter, so I could see. We'll do a little test, see what my water is. So Brita's making this. Okay. Let's go, Brita. Better Brita. It's a better Brita. A better Brita. Say that 5 times fast. Better Brita, better Brita, better Brita, better Brita. Better Brita. Oh, there's a meter. Let's go. So, we'll be able to do a test. Now, do I have to wash this out? Remove lid and water reservoir from the top of the pitcher and remove filter from packaging. Unscrew the blue protective cap. Clean your device in warm water using mild soap and then rinse and dry thoroughly. Additionally, rinse the exterior of your filter for 30 seconds. Alright. So I do have to clean it. Here's the meter. Gonna test. Alright. A little soap. I wonder what they have in here that you have to clean out. Is it just to be safe, or do they coat it with some type of something? I'm gonna follow the directions anyway. And then I'll let it out through the thing here. Okay, now it says to rinse this. I'm not going to do it for 30 seconds. Alright. Get the soapy water out. Alright. Gonna put that right there. Okay, what's next? Twist filter into the bottom of reservoir from below. Okay. Remove, unscrew the blue protective cap if applicable. Remove filter from packaging. Alright, I skipped a step. Remove filter from packaging. Unscrew the blue protective cap. There it is. Okay. Screw this in from the bottom. And tighten filter to obtain a complete seal with the reservoir. I don't want to tighten it too much. Okay. Do not drop the filter in from above. Tighten until there's a complete seal between the filter, A-ring, and reservoir. Fill reservoir by filling with cold tap water directly into the filter and place lid on top. Allow all the water to pass through the filter before filling again. I'm supposed to pour it right onto the fill reservoir by pouring directly into the filter and place lid on top. But the diagram shows it being poured on the other side. I don't get it. This has to go here. Okay. So let me get this. Alright, well, it says directly onto the filter, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to follow the words and not the directions. And not the diagram. Oh, there it is. It's coming out. It's coming out the bottom. Alright. Cool, cool. Alright, so it says allow it to completely drain before we fill again. Alright. Alright. Guess I could throw this out. Recycling. Look at the color of this though. It's like yellow. Sheesh. I'm interested. Let's see. Let's see how this works here. TDS water quality meter. The TDS meter supplied is intended to detect and measure total dissolved solids in parts per million. Test your water regularly. Okay. Remove cap. Turn on. Remove cap. Turn on. Submerge in water. Change filter when it reads 0.6 or higher. Okay, so I'm going to submerge this in water here. And let me hold on to this for the warranty. Put that off to the side. So 136. My TDS on tap water is 136. Wait, hold? What does this hold? I guess that's a reset. Okay. Turn this off for now. And is this empty? Okay, pour this in here. Okay, I'll just keep filling it up until it goes up all the way. Wow, 136, huh? Karen says, I bought some stupid water filter to take out fluoride and it put in 30 times the aluminum. WTF. I don't know. We got the TDS meter here, so hopefully this is not what you're talking about. You know, I get worried when people say things that could potentially be about me. Yeah. Anyway. Let me pour some out into this glass here. And turn this on, and now we're gonna see 2. We're at 2. How's that? One. Now we're at 1. Now we're at 0. We're at 1. Okay, 1 part per million. It's better than 136, right? Alright. So, what happened last night, why I didn't do the news was I got called in to do construction at 9 o'clock. I didn't get home until midnight, but I got paid a full day. So I kind of took that opportunity. $200 for 3 hours of work. And I went straight to bed basically when I got home, so. I didn't eat yesterday. I did have soup. On Sunday, what's today? Wednesday? On Sunday, I ate, I think. Yeah, I ate on Sunday. On Monday, I ate Dino Tracks and soup. Yesterday, I only had soup. And then today, I'm going to have less soup. It's kind of like me, I'm kind of like transitioning off of food, you know, because I'm fasting again. So, this is how I transition off of food. I go like, always got to end with Dino Tracks though. Hold on, let me put the rest of this water in the filter. Alright. And I'm gonna put some in here. Alright, got some low TDS water soup. This is a sesame ginger soup. If you want to see the recipe, go back a few days on my stream. It was a 3-hour cooking session that I did with my son. Alright, so that's that. So yeah, I didn't get to do the news last night. I'm going to catch up. I think some of the topics are actually not current anymore. For example, the strawberry supermoon. But let's just take a look and see. The secret government program called Project Blue Agate is a ghost base in Louisiana. They said it's abandoned, but that's just the cover story. The team is sending me topics to talk about so that I can become a YouTube celebrity. Or at least monetize my channel. You know, I'm on a mission. Okay, the first one is Happy the Elephant. BBC News. Oh man, I gotta hold on. I'm not sure that I like BBC News. The Washington Post, AP News, Reuters, National. Let's go National Geographic. I feel like the latest attempt to have Happy, an elephant at Bronx Zoo. Oh, Karen says, distilled water is 0 parts per million and is the only water except your own pee, which will wash contaminants out of the body. Wow. I gotta return that, huh? I gotta return the filter. Sheesh. I can't do anything right. I gotta get a distiller, is what you're saying. Alright. Well, I'll return it then. Happy the Elephant is not... Okay, wait, hold on. The latest attempt to have Happy, an elephant at Bronx Zoo, declared a legal person and granted the right to freedom, has been rejected. Happy the Elephant is not a person. New York's highest court rules. The ruling rejected an effort to move the Bronx Zoo elephant to a sanctuary and ended the furthest advancing animal rights case in U.S. judicial history. Wow. That's amazing. Interesting times. The only thing is, let me look up person, because supposedly in Black's Law Dictionary, person means beast. Let's see. Person, Black's Law. A man considered according to the rank he holds in society, with all the rights to which the place he holds entitles him, and the duties which it imposes. A human being is considered as capable of having rights and of being charged with duties, while a thing is the object over which rights may be exercised. What is the legal definition of a person? A legal person refers to a human or non-human entity that is treated as a person for limited legal purposes. Typically, a legal person can sue and be sued, own property, and enter into contracts. Okay, based on this definition, I don't think Happy should be considered a person, but I think we're gonna read, but maybe they're trying to find a way to get this guy or girl or elephant into a sanctuary. That's what it seems like. All navies and embassies drink distilled water. Okay, I'm gonna get a distiller. Wait, how much is a distiller? Home distiller. We're gonna do home water distiller. Mega home countertop water distiller. Okay. Let me go distill. Wait a second. Distilled waters. This is a group. Wait. Aren't I in one already? Hold on. Where are my groups? Switch profile or account. How do you freaking get to groups? Okay, here we go. Wait. Places, groups. Okay. No, not search results. My groups. Really? Did I leave it? Maybe I left it because I got too many freaking notifications. Alright, I'm gonna have to message. Hey, Doc. Do you have a recommendation for home water distiller? for a home water distiller. All right. Some on eBay and Amazon are from China and will explode or overheat in a month or so. I have had my pure water for 5 years, no problem. I got one from Amazon and it exploded in 3 weeks. So my pure water is the one you're recommending, Karen? Okay, editor's choice. Pure water home distiller. This is it, right? Is this the one? Purewater.com. $7.50. Oh my God. I can't afford that. I can't afford that, Karen. Oh gosh. Alright. Anyway. Happy, a 51-year-old Asian elephant at the Bronx Zoo, is not a person. According, New York's highest court has decided, bringing to a close a case that forced the courts and the public to reflect on what rights human society owes highly intelligent animals. Let me tweet this. The court's 5-2 ruling on June 14th means Happy is not entitled to the fundamental right of body liberty or freedom from imprisonment. Ooh, ouch. That's unfortunate. Hey, we got two. We got 2 people voted for Happy to be freed. God bless whoever did that. Oh, they'll take payments? Mention Andrew Norton Weber for a 10% discount. They'll take payments. Alright. I'm going to contemplate it. Oh, really? Really? Really, National Geographic? Now we got to go to the New York Times. Is this the same? It's the same article. It's a she. Happy is a she. An Asian elephant named Happy that has been at the Bronx Zoo for more than 40 years will remain there after New York's highest court ruled on Tuesday that she is not a person in a legal sense and therefore not entitled to a fundamental human right. By a 5-2 vote, the Court of Appeals rejected an animal advocacy organization's argument that Happy was being illegally detained at the zoo and should be transferred to a more natural environment. The dispute hinged on whether the cornerstone legal principle of habeas corpus, which people assert to protect their body liberty and to contest illegal confinement, should be extended to autonomous, cognitively complex animals like elephants. No, the court said. Well, we live in a world where people kill and eat animals, so I don't know that habeas corpus is gonna fly until everybody goes veg, you know? While no one disputes the impressive capabilities of elephants, we reject petitioners' arguments that it is entitled to seek the remedy of habeas corpus on Happy's behalf. Janet DeFiore, the chief judge, wrote. Habeas corpus is a procedural vehicle intended to secure the liberty rights of human beings who are unlawfully restrained, not non-human animals. Well, this is like going to McDonald's and looking for health food. You're not going to get a remedy in the legal system, my opinion. You know, this is a an industry or an institution that is self-sustaining. It's these people got to get paid. Janet DiFiore, you know, she's turning the gears, and people fall in and they get ground up. You know, their body is considered meat for the beast. You know, people make mistakes. My dad was telling me something yesterday. This kid, he was bringing in drugs. 20 years. His whole life is like that for making a mistake. It's a machine. And you can't go to a machine looking for empathy or sympathy. I don't know what the right word is. Empathy or sympathy for happy. I would say maybe do something like adopt or purchase the animal, if you could purchase the animal. What can one person do? I mean, I'm already involved in trying to build Master Luki's League of Champions so I could stop people from getting traumatic brain injury and eating junk food. But I can't save you happy. Maybe when I get rich, I'll do it. I'll be able to, you know? Make a sanctuary for you. In a lengthy dissent, Judge Rowan D. Wilson said the court had a duty to recognize Happy's right to petition for her liberty, not just because she is a wild animal who's not meant to be caged and displayed, but because the rights we confer on others define who we are as a society. Judge Jenny Rivera, in a separate dissent, wrote that Happy was being held in an environment that is unnatural to her and that does not allow her to live her life as she was meant to, as a self-determinative, autonomous elephant in the wild. Could you say that about every living being on Earth at this point? Could you say that even humans, like us, are unable to live as a self-determinative, autonomous human in the wild? I mean, we're basically born into bondage, are we not? My teacher used to say this jail... Oh, fuck. Shit fucking cooked fast. Damn it. I didn't want it to boil. Killed it! I'm gonna put a little more toxic water in it to cool it down. Let's see if it's too dilute. Need salt and yeast. Yeast. Salt. Leave that out for later. Alright. That's my dinner. And for dessert, I'm going to have peppermint tea. Okay. Oh yeah, it was good. Ooh, still hot. Okay. The ruling ended what appears to be the first case of its kind in the English-speaking world to reach so high a court. And while it keeps Happy where she is, the outcome is unlikely to quell the debate over whether highly intelligent animals should be viewed as something other than things or property. I think it's a great sign of the state of the world that this is actually a case now. You know, everybody always says, oh, the awakening, everybody's waking up, more people are going vegetarian, vegan. You have the environmental catastrophe going on. It's waking people up to our role as stewards of Earth. Not just hunter-gatherers, but caretakers, builders, developers, engineers. Not messing with nature, but organizing to be more efficient. That's my concept. That's my view. The case was brought by the non-human rights group. Let's pull that up. Non-Human Rights Project. nonhumanrights.org. Media Center. You got any social media? Hello? Contact us. Here we go. We'd love to hear from you. Donations, volunteer. Here you go. Follow us to get updates. Everybody follow. Boom. Facebook. Boom. Instagram. Boom. Oh, who liked it? Internal Kung Fu. I'm going to follow that. And YouTube, of course. Subscribe. Happy's Historic Hearing, streamed 4 weeks ago.
Okay. Came home crying and I'm going to be a vegetarian.
Woohoo! Monica Miller. Is this Monica Miller? Who's Monica Miller? This one or this one? This girl is beautiful. Holy, she's got that vegan beauty. Nope. Monica Miller. Oh, yeah. Legal director at the, whatever, AmericanHumanist.org. I'm going to follow her. Hello? Wait, what about Pfizer? Oh, Pitzer. Does she have social media? Hello? Facebook? Alright. Looks like my girlfriend. Looks like my future girlfriend. Hey-oo! Just kidding. About. That's it? There's no Instagram. Alright. Alright, let's get back into it.
non-human rights group, an animal advocacy organization, as part of a long-running legal push to free captive animals. Last month, even as Happy's fate hung in the balance, the group asserted a habeas claim seeking to have 3 elephants removed from a Fresno, California zoo. In a statement on Tuesday, the group focused on the dissenting opinion, saying they offered tremendous hope for a future where elephants no longer suffer as Happy has, and where non-human rights are protected alongside human rights. Power to the living beings! The group had sought to have Happy moved from the Bronx Zoo, which it called a prison for her, to one of 2 vast elephant sanctuaries, which it described as more natural settings that would make Happy's life easier. Yeah, if it's a big animal, the zoo is probably very small. She's a depressed, screwed up elephant, Stephen Wise, the group's founder, said in an interview before the ruling was announced. Isn't it amazing, these names? Wise, Stephen Wise. What came first, the name or the person? You know, some people say that we choose our path as sparks coming from the center of the universe. We chose this life a long time ago. And he chose his name, according to that. On the other side was the Wildlife Conservation Society, oh wow, which operates the zoo and flatly rejected the group's assertions about Happy's Bronx existence. Isn't it funny? Wildlife Conservation Society. And they're imprisoning animals. That's like the Food and Drug Administration approving all these poisons. She's well cared for by professionals with decades of experience and with whom she is strongly bonded. Yeah, trauma bonding and Stockholm Syndrome. The society said in a statement before the ruling, adding that the case amounted to blatant exploitation. The society did not respond to a request for a comment on Tuesday. The subject of the argument was visible on a cool, clear day in May from a monorail trolley rolling through the zoo's Wild Asia section. She and another Asian elephant, Patty, moved about slowly, separated by a fence in the roughly 2-acre tree-lined enclosure they share, with logs scattered around and a pool nearby. Both of our elephants look great, said the tour guide, offering an assessment that could be hard for the average person to contradict. Happy wandered across her grassy patch in the direction of Patty, ears, trunk, and tail waving in the morning sun. They get a lot of attention, the guide said. Well, I'm not going to comment on the state of the elephants because I'm not in their heads and I don't know. But I will say that I feel trapped in my life and I'm still able to put on a happy face. And people in prison are still able to find joy in activities. Just like the book by Viktor Frankl, which he wrote to his wife in the concentration camp of World War II. Man's Search for Meaning was the name of that book. And he wrote that in a concentration camp. And we can survive, but that doesn't make it right, what they're doing. I applaud you who are fighting against injustice. And I'm on your side. Elephants are extremely social by nature, roaming in herds and communicating with one another in everything from low-frequency rumbles to the slight angling of their bodies. They have been observed in various mourning behaviors when one of their number dies. So instead of roaming in herds, they're down to 2. Oh, I know that if I'm with even my best friend day in and day out, we're going to get on each other's nerves. That's not natural. Happy did not experience much of that natural life. Born in the early 1970s, probably in Thailand, she was captured at a young age and brought to the United States, where she wound up at a Florida petting zoo with 6 other elephants, each named for Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs characters. Wow. So she's a victim of trafficking and was bought by Hollywood, basically. Quite a common occurrence, more so than people realize. The Bronx Zoo acquired her and another of the 7, Grumpy, also a female, in 1977. The 2 lived initially with an older female elephant, Tuss, in the elephant house, not in the Wild Asia section where Happy is now kept. Tuss, Happy, and Grumpy were trained to do tricks, give rides to children, and perform at elephant weekends, wearing costumes made by an edgy downtown performance artist and playing tug-of-war with firefighters and college football players. The elephants usually won. Eventually they were moved to Wild Asia as zoos across the country retooled or abandoned their elephant exhibits, partly in response to a growing animal rights movement. Let's keep on going, baby. Tuss died in 2002. A few months later, Patty and a second elephant, Maxine, attacked Grumpy, fatally wounding her. Oh my god. Happy could no longer be kept with them. In 2006, a young female elephant, Sammy, was brought in to be Happy's new companion, but she died soon after arriving. I would bet that was a contraindication to experimental medical procedures, if you catch my drift. You know what I'm saying? What they do to these animals and people. In 2000, the zoo decided against adding any more elephants, focusing instead on helping endangered members of the species in the wild. Okay, so they don't want to let Happy go because they're making money off her ass. These people should be in jail. Themselves, you know? Just to get a taste of it. And then, you know, change your ways. That left Happy alone on one side of a fence with Patty, and until she died several years ago, Maxine on the other. The barrier notwithstanding, zoo officials say Happy is not isolated and that she and Patty touch trunks, smell each other, and communicate. That's it? They touch trunks? Wow. Look at that. I'm so sorry, guys. That has not stopped Happy from becoming an animal rights cause celebrity. Her trip through New York's courts began in 2018 after the Court of Appeals rejected a habeas appeal by Mr. Wise's group on behalf of 2 chimpanzees. Our cousins. Eugene M. Fahey, a judge on the court at the time, joined his colleagues in rejecting the chimp case. But in a concurring opinion, he said the matter presented a deep dilemma of ethics and policy that demands our attention. The issue of whether a non-human animal has a fundamental right of liberty protected by the writ of habeas corpus is profound and far-reaching, he wrote. Ultimately, he added, we will not be able to ignore it. He's just pushing it along, though. Pushing it to the next person. My teacher called it writing a check on the writing a check on the bank of heaven. Cashing a check on the bank of heaven. Something like that. Shoot, I forgot. Writing a check on the bank of heaven. Instead of fighting now, he pushed it along. Somebody else will do it. To Mr. Wise, Judge Fahey's opinion offered a glimmer of hope. With appeals in the chimp case exhausted, he turned to Happy, who had distinguished herself as an especially cognitively advanced, even for a species known for intelligence. In 2005, she passed a mirror self-recognition test, touching an X marked on her head with her trunk while looking at a mirror. The first elephant to show such a degree of self-awareness. Only human infants, apes, and dolphins had done it before. In February 2020, a trial court judge rejected a habeas petition filed on Happy's behalf by Mr. Wise's group. The judge, Justice Allison Tuitt of Bronx State Supreme Court, said she was bound by legal precedent and had come to her conclusion regrettably. This court agrees that Happy is more than just a legal thing or property, she wrote. An appellate court affirmed the lower court ruling, setting the stage for a hearing last month before the seven-judge Court of Appeals. The judges focused at the hearing on how autonomy is defined for animals, the meaning of body liberty in this instance, and the potentially larger effects of a ruling that would move Happy from the zoo. Quizzing Monica Miller, the lawyer representing the Non-Human Rights Project, Judge Rivera zeroed in on the ramifications for pet owners. "Does that mean I couldn't keep a dog?" she asked. "I mean, dogs can memorize words." "No," Ms. Miller answered. Ms. The group's arguments did not apply to dogs. "We don't have the evidence about dogs that we have about elephants right now." The Conservation Society's primary argument was that Happy was not being tamed illegally, but its lawyer, Kenneth Manning, also raised the specter of humans losing control over animals of all kinds if the court were to rule in favor of Mr. Wise's group. "I wouldn't call this a ripple, Your Honor," he said to Judge Rivera. In her opinion, Judge DeFiore concurred. "A decision in favor of Mr. Wise's group," she wrote, "would have an enormous destabilizing impact on modern society." They don't want to change things. They want to just go along eating beef, pork, destroying the environment, killing animals, and keeping people in bondage. Chemical bondage, civic bondage, societal bondage. None of these people will fight for you. Don't go to McDonald's looking for health food. Don't go to court looking for justice. My opinion, the way to change the world is in the marketplace, with the choices that you make on your purchases and building your economic sovereignty. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. Bubba Joe, no, we didn't get to Crypto Winter yet. I think that's next. No, next is bear market. Might be the same thing though, right? Judge Fahey retired from the court last year and was not part of the deliberations, but he voted for the court to take the case before stepping down. And in an interview before the decision was announced, he said it was an important step It was an important step, regardless of the outcome. The real point is whether they are beings with a complex sense of their own selves, he said of elephants and other highly intelligent animals like chimps. There was, he said, an enormous amount of evidence supporting that argument and not one scintilla of proof contradicting it. Okay, so if they're basing this on how intelligent the animal is, what about stupid humans? What about mentally below average humans that maybe need to be taken care of? Maybe these animals need to be taken care of, but you wouldn't consider it just to have somebody with, for example, Down syndrome or autism to be kept in a cage. If you have a child and they're autistic, are you gonna deny them their freedom? He says, "Hey, mom, dad, I wanna go somewhere." No, you're not smart enough. You don't have the rights. Is that what they're basing it on? Just how smart the animal is? I think that's incorrect. He noted that while a dictionary may define person one way, the word's meaning under the law has changed over time. He noted that corporations are now treated as people in certain situations. Well, there you go. That's more evidence for my argument. Money talks. Corporations get the rights. But who says you have to go by the book? Obviously, they're going to go by the book, but I'm saying, who says you have to go by the book? I believe the word is dead. Some people say the word is alive. The word only becomes alive when it comes out of a living being. On paper, it's dead. Burn the books! Judge Fahey also said that advances in technology, those involving artificial intelligence, for instance, made questions about personhood even more critical to address. The nature of humanity and the nature of intelligence are going to change as science changes, he said. And if we don't confront how we define these things now, we are not going to have anything to build on when those changes come. What do you think? Would you, as a judge, rule in Happy's favor? Think about that. I'm going to go, are you the type of person that will cause a ruckus? Will you rock the boat for Happy and for everyone? I'm asking myself that question right now. Last cup of soup. Alright. Next. Bear market. A bear market is a decline of 20% or more from recent highs. It's symbolic psychological hurdle for investors that often portends. What does portend mean? Be a sign or warning that something is likely to happen. A bear market often is a sign of a recession. Wharton professor Jeremy Siegel is one of the best stock watchers alive. He says the S&P 500 is already pricing in a recession and bear market. World-renowned economist Jeremy Siegel says it sure looks like stocks have discounted at least a mild recession amid this year's downturn. All right, I'm not going to read this because, to be honest, I never got into the market like that. My ex-wife's new man who lives with them and my sons, he's got 2 daughters and they visit every other weekend, so that takes away from my every weekend visit. So now I only get every other weekend because my sons, they like, I guess, hanging out with the girls. I don't know exactly what he does, but he's got 2 computer screens in the den next to the kitchen, and I heard him talking one day, like he's saying, like, I just made such and such dollars, thousands of dollars or whatever. It was a big celebration. He's going like this. This is the mouse, right? He's going like this. Not producing anything. I'm just gonna be a complete fucking asshole right now and judge you. And if I offend you, I'm sorry. I'm judgmental. I'm a deadbeat dad. I give my wife probably $250 a month. I'm only legally obligated to give her $25 a month. But I started kicking in a little more because I've been making more money construction, even though I'm technically not an employee. I just, when they have work, they send it to me. And like the last 2 months, every other week, I've been giving her an extra $100, which she told me pays for their personal trainer, which I think is a lie. I think she's trying to get more money out of me by saying it's $100 a week, but maybe it is. Maybe it's $100 a week. I've been giving her every other week $100. I'm a deadbeat. She thinks I'm a deadbeat. He probably thinks I'm a deadbeat because when we got divorced, it wasn't so hateful. I mean, we didn't get along, but she moved literally next door to the house next to where our house was. And I think she wanted to get back together. Because I was so fucked up, I didn't see the signs or didn't care to, and I didn't realize how bad it would actually be to get divorced. In hindsight, I would take it all back, to be honest. I would work on the marriage, I would work on myself, and try to save it. One of the worst, if not the worst mistake of my life. Because of what it did to me, losing my kids. I was watching something on Twitter the other day. The guy said, the most important people in your family is not your kids. The most important person in your family is your wife. And I get what he's saying. I love my kids more than my wife, but I get what he's saying, why she's the most important one. Because that's where they learn. That's where they learn how to communicate and how interpersonal relationships are supposed to be between the relationship of the parents. So I'm dreading. I'm very worried about the result, the effect on them. God, I wish I could take it back. Anyway, maybe I can fix it if I get rich. When I get rich. Everything happens for a reason. I have to keep the faith. What was the question? Oh yeah, I'm not gonna read this whole thing because I'm really not into stocks. Even when I do have a little bit of money, I don't invest. I want to produce something. I don't want to just click buttons and get paid for gambling. And it is gambling. Investing is gambling. You're not doing any work. You're just putting your money somewhere and then somebody else is doing the work. I want to do the work and I want to build something that people can invest in if they want. All right, I'll take the money. I'll take the investment money and I'll move it. I'll move it around and make something worthwhile out of it. I don't want to invest and I don't want to make money and I don't want to make money investing. I want to produce something that sells. I want to make something, I want to build something that's worthwhile. And I'm sorry if I offend you. Don't take it personally. If you're into stocks. But you might be invested in beef. You might be invested in oil. You might be invested in pork. You might be invested in plastic. You might be invested in things that are detrimental to the environment and our future as a human race. So fuck you and your money. But I don't have to read this because we all know this is an engineered crisis of the Great Reset. If you don't know what the Great Reset is, wake the hell up. Okay? The Illuminati is crashing all the markets to bring everybody down to here. They want here, the super rich, and here, everybody else. They don't want a stratified society. They want 1 and 2. Ones and zeros. And we're the zeros. The plebes. The slave class. And they're the royalty. They believe that they have divine right to rule. Do I think that smart people should be able to make decisions to serve people who aren't as smart? Yes. I do. And part of me believes that this is the only way. Because most of you stupid Americans are gonna keep eating burgers until there's nothing left. You're gonna keep stuffing yourself with pizza until you get cancer. And then you're gonna get chemo and you're gonna die. And you need to be saved. Because you're too addicted. You're too stupid to save yourself. And if it was just yourself, I would say good riddance. You want to kill yourself? Bye. But the problem is all of the money you're spending on beef and pizza and bacon and what else? What else do people buy that's completely destroying the environment? Milk, cereal, you know? Cheetos, cheese doodles, Doritos. You eat that stuff? That's why Klaus Schwab has you bent over and he's spanking your ass. Klaus Schwab is making you become vegan. Bill Gates is taking away your beef burgers. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Na 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 na. No more steak for you. No more steak for you. Ha 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 ha. No more steak for you. The parasites are gonna get all pissed. Look, I already lost a viewer. Ha ha ha. Ha ha. Beef tapeworm. That's why you love the greasy, juicy beef. It's the beef tapeworm that took over you. So, the Great Reset. That's part of me. Now, the other part of me doesn't think that it's a good thing because of the you-know-what that they put in your arm and that they want to make mandatory for you to be able to travel, to get a license. I was doing construction work at JFK today, and there was a sign for the Real ID. The Real ID is, starting next year, going to be a requirement for all domestic travel. So I looked it up. I said, "Oh shit, the Real ID is gonna be only given to people who get the you-know-what in their arm." That's what I thought. But then I looked it up, and so far there's nothing said about that. But they've laid it out. They have their plan laid out. They want everybody to have a digital straw man. Just like now, when you're born, your birth certificate creates a straw man, a legal entity, your name in all caps. That's the person that can be fined, like me, $150 for going through a red light. Actually making a red light, a turn on red. I made a turn on red. And the camera took a picture of my license plate and sent me a $150 fine in the mail. I didn't hurt anyone. I didn't hit anyone. I didn't hurt anyone. There were no cars coming. No crime. No harm, no foul. The crime was committed on me and is committed on me by taking the money that I earned with my blood, by slaving away on the job site. I spilled my blood for this money, and that blood, the equivalent to my blood, has been taken from me by the fiction, the legal entity of the court system, the Rockville Center system of taxation. But that's because I identify as Luke J. Kumo. And I haven't done the paperwork to take back my straw man, to take back my name. So they're finding Luke J. Kumo in all caps. That's not me. That's the legal entity that they use to represent me. But that's not me. That's not my body. And so I haven't paid it yet. I should figure out a way to send that back. You know, you could put a stamp on it, you could write something on it, I don't know. It's to my dad's car though, so I have to figure it out. Anyway. Crypto winter is here. The weak will die and the strong will eat their bones. You see, crypto seemed to me from the beginning to be a bubble. And maybe it'll hit the bottom and make a comeback. But I don't think it's hit the bottom yet. I think this summer, this fall, is going to be the real winter that Joe Biden was talking about. He was talking about something else, but I think it's going down, baby. Good thing I'm used to having no money. And good thing my dad's not charging me rent. Let visions of consensus carry you through the bear market. It has been a week of whiplash for us here at CoinDesk. On the one hand, We just scored an immense triumph as an organization with Consensus 22, which wrapped up on Saturday. The conference was a sprawling, frenetic 4 days that proved how intense and broad the interest in crypto is. It also, if I can pat my fellow Coindeskers on the back, proved once and for all that we are the media organization at the center of it all. On the other hand, of course, in the mere 2 days since Consensus ended, we've seen an incredible rout in crypto markets, with Bitcoin and Ether both dropping roughly 20% in 2 days. There are now signs of a liquidity crunch and maybe even insolvency at the centralized lending platform Celsius Network. Arguably, the other shoe dropping after the Luna UST unwind. Trouble at Celsius, in turn, seems to have traders worried about STETH, an important bond-like token related to the Ethereum 2.0 merge. There are similar seeming liquidity issues at 3 Hours Capital, and to top it all off, crypto exchange Coinbase just laid off 1,100 people. Sheesh. Sucks to be you. There is so much to say about this moment, and we here at CoinDesk will be saying all of it in the coming weeks and months as we help you navigate the crypto crisis. But before the dominoes started toppling at scale, I was planning for this column to be about the amazingness of Consensus. And I still think that's important because the vision and passion that was on display at Consensus in Austin, Texas last weekend is exactly how we find our way out of this mess. These people think they have any control? I don't know, man. I heard that crypto actually was a government operation from the beginning. And here we get to... Alright. Crypto, it seems clear, is becoming a shelling point for various stripes of dissatisfaction with the status quo. A shelling point is very loosely a symbol, site, technology, or other focal point that draws people together to collaborate without explicit communication or coordination. Crypto has seized society's imagination and become a site for transformative change, even if we're not clear where it's headed. And here we get to the market crash. I feel immense empathy for those who are losing their jobs right now and for those who will in the coming days and weeks. I've been there. I lost my job as a result of the 2018 crypto crash. But there are also immense positives to a crypto downturn. The products failing, particularly Luna and Celsius, were substantially illusory all along, driven by inflated, unsustainable returns. It's now becoming clear that the profits depositors in these systems received were essentially a game of musical chairs using venture capital money. That's what I thought. Coinbase, meanwhile, has admitted that it made a major strategic mistake by hiring too fast, despite, as I pointed out when it went public in 2021, the brutally cyclical nature of the exchange business. And 3 Arrows, a highly influential venture firm, appears to have been heavily invested in some of the most speculative and risky projects on the market. I know it's a terrible cliche, but it's nonetheless true. All of that is, in fact, the good news. I'm skipping paragraphs. This sort of garbage has crept into crypto during every expansion cycle. The current downturn is the holy cleansing flame that will eliminate it, in the same way that an old growth forest needs a good fire every once in a while to renew itself. That's false. Getting rid of fake trash built on hype and a cult of personality means that, while there may be less money sloshing around for the next year or so, a much higher proportion of that will go to credible projects. Those who are looking to build something based on a solid idea will thrive in this environment, especially because, unlike 2018, it seems likely there will still be a substantial venture capital available. As an example, consider that OpenSea, which generated 20 billion in NFT sales in 2021, was founded in 2017 with a lot of building through 2018 and 2019. That was not just during a fallow period for crypto, it was before most people had heard the term non-fungible token. I think non-fungible tokens are more BS. I think non-fungible tokens is another bubble. Strawberry supermoon. Did you see it? I saw it. I saw it last night, the strawberry supermoon. I saw it when it first came up and it was huge and yellow or orange, whatever color that is. And then I saw it like just an hour later, maybe even maybe 2 hours later, and it was so much smaller, but it was still like still very bright and clear. And I was looking at it and I said, that thing just looks fake. Like, how did it go from so big to so small to smaller and lose its color in a period of 2 hours? And then why does it look like that? It looks like it's literally 50 feet away or a mile away. It doesn't look like however far away it is. And I'm looking at it, I'm trying to, I don't know if it's my eyes or the way the sunlight bounces off it, but I can't get it to clearly focus. I can't see the sphere of it. It just looks like a circle, and the glow of it, the aura around it or whatever, is it won't stay still. So I guess that's the light bouncing off it. But I wanted to try and see the sphere of it like I have in the past. I don't know, I did mushrooms yesterday. Maybe that's why. I did mushrooms. But I did it earlier in the day. I wasn't really tripping when I saw it. Anyway. I want to look up the... Why is it called the strawberry moon? Because the soft fruit is in season in the northern hemisphere. It's also called the hot moon, mead moon, and rose moon. I'm going to look up like an esoteric meaning of it. What does the hell? What button did I press? Holy. Oh. Spiritually. Here we go. Spiritual meaning. Pop sugar. HITC. Peculiar brunette. Elite daily. L. Bustle. The sun. We're going to go to thesun.com. What does the June full moon symbolize? The giant moon that graces our skies in June is called the strawberry supermoon, so named because it occurs during the strawberry harvest in North America. Oh, no, this is 2021. Hello? The hell? Let's go to that peculiar brunette. Here we go. There she is. I don't like your eyebrows. They're too shaped. You need to let them things come in. Oh, the warm, glorious days of June's strawberry full moon. Lips crimson from freshly picked strawberries, and the sweet taste still lingers. The strawberry moon's spiritual meaning and energy are powerful, and it's important to understand what it means to you as we begin to say goodbye to spring and hello to summer. The strawberry moon meaning is a time of growth and new beginnings. Aren't they all? It's a time to plant the seeds for your dreams and watch them grow into fruition. Wow. it's not a coincidence that I picked up a book yesterday about a nonprofit business plan that I'm going to use to write one for Master Luki's League of Champions. I'm going to make Master Luki brand health food a business, a regular business, and I'm going to make Master Luki's League of Champions a non-for-profit organization. So whatever your goals are for the coming year, make sure to set your intentions during this spectacular moon phase. Take the time to slow down and blah, 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 blah. Is that it?
Oh, the warm, glorious days of June's.
All right. All right. AEW suspends Jeff Hardy. Without pay, following arrest, can only return after treatment and staying sober. I heard that. I heard that this dude had problems for a long time. You know, the pro wrestlers of old. I don't know how it is now, like the new generation, but the old generation, a lot of juice, a lot of painkillers, because they get really banged up doing the fake fighting. You know, they're jumping off the top ropes. Now the mat is spring loaded, so it's like they're hitting a trampoline, but they're still impacted, and they're still impacting each other, and they still take the bumps, you know, and they do get injured. So to be able to perform week in and week out, a lot of these guys get hooked on pain pills. And this guy looks like he's on LSD too, although he looks cool as hell. Jeff Hardy or Matt Hardy? Jeff Hardy, okay. Latest DUI arrest in Florida. Tony Khan announced Hardy's discipline. He's the AEW president and CEO. Announced it on social media. We were able to resume contact with Jeff Hardy this afternoon. AEW does not condone Jeff's alleged behavior. We've made it clear to Jeff that we'll assist him in getting treatment for substance abuse issues, which he has indicated that he's open to receiving. In the interim, he's suspended without pay, and he can only return to AEW upon successfully completing treatment and maintaining his sobriety. Well, the modern Western medical model doesn't have a high success rate with treating addiction because the food that people eat is addictive. You have xenoopiates or xenomorphins, which are 40 times weaker than actual heroin, but they hit the same receptors and they last over 3 days. These are the chemicals that are in wheat and dairy. You have gluten, you have casein, you have other ones that are in other grains, and also cheese that has the casomorphin. Okay, there's glutenin, there's gluten, and there's gliadin. You're feeding these things to people, and that's why you don't have a high success rate, because you're still hitting those receptors instead of weaning the person off with kratom and actual health food. If anybody watching is hooked on pills or drugs, any drug, I am qualified to help you kick the habit forever. Come stay with me. I'll make sure you get off the junk. All the junk food and the junk drugs. I don't think we need to read the rest of this. He looks like he's on Xanax. His eyes aren't too bloodshot. He doesn't look drunk, although he might be. He might be drunk. Let's see. DUI interlock? That might be alcohol. Oh, police said Hardy admitted to drinking earlier in the day. Hardy agreed to 2 breathalyzer readings and blew a .294 and a .291. Well, there it is. It's alcohol. Amazing that the stuff is legal, isn't it? If you have certain carbohydrates fermenting in your gut, you could be actually walking around drunk. They did a test on kids in Canada, and the ones that had cereal in the morning had elevated blood alcohol levels. How's that? That's why your kids act like crackheads. That's why your kids act like a-holes. Last story. And then I'm going to go back to Home Depot and return that filter and get my $150 back. House GOP. What's GOP mean? I always hear that. What is GOP mean? Grand Old Party, nickname for the Republican Party. Okay. Targets Biden agriculture policies, it says could put small farms out of business. Whoa, I'm surprised at that. Joe Biden, a globalist? I don't believe it. I don't believe that Joe Biden is a big big pharma shill, and he's selling the nation out to international banking interests. End sarcasm. Republicans are introducing a bill to undo laundry list of Biden agriculture policies amid high inflation. Okay, but the only thing is that the Republicans, they want business as usual, and that's not going to cut it either. They want beef patties. They want steak, juicy steaks. They want burgers and fries and bacon and milkshakes and McDonald's like Captain Warp Speed asshole Donald Trump, who took us out of the Paris Climate Accord because he doesn't want to cut the biggest contributor to global climate catastrophe, which is the animal agriculture industry. If you don't believe me, look it up. If you eat beef, if you drink milk, you're killing the planet, damn it. Why? Bah. House Agriculture Committee ranking member Glenn Thompson is introducing a bill Wednesday to strike back at several of the Biden administration's agriculture policies and a recently proposed SEC rule lawmakers say could harm small firms. Thompson from Pennsylvania is introducing the bill with more than 20 co-sponsors at a time when Americans are dealing with significant inflation in food, including food prices. Who asked me? Was that Joe? Joe, I actually have not seen vegetable prices rising. I bought maple syrup today, same price. Coffee, same price. Are you seeing elevated food prices? Maybe it's coming. I know gas is up. Maybe it's on the way. The bill is called the Reducing Farm Input Costs and Barriers to Domestic Production Act. Reducing farm input costs. Okay, farm input costs, that's synthetic fertilizer. That's pesticides. That's what the farm input costs, and that's the GMO seeds. You see, when they generalize this term for farm, what they're talking about is the corn and soy industry that's feeding the beef industry. Because that's the number one farm product of America is corn, soy, and beef and wheat. Look at this guy. Holy. You think he's not eating beef? Come on, man. Man's about to have a heart attack. These things that could be done immediately with the stroke of a pen by the Biden administration that would not just serve the agriculture community, but frankly, more importantly, it would help to bring down the cost of food, which has been caught up in this Biden inflation, Thompson said in an interview. Among the several provisions in the bill is one that would rescind an SEC proposed rule to require Scope 3 climate impact disclosures by public companies. Scope 3 under the rule would mean that not only would a public company need to report information like carbon emissions from their own business, but also from sources upstream and downstream in their supply chains. I don't know what this crop is. Critics of the proposed rule, including more than 100 bipartisan House lawmakers who signed the letter opposing it last month, say this would effectively force small farms to track these states. Otherwise, they could be frozen out of working with public companies. This particular provision is part of the Biden administration's war on Americans' families and certainly the war on agriculture, Thompson told Fox News Digital. Thompson said the proposed SEC rule usurps congressional authority and would result in small, medium-sized farmers going out of business, consolidating. Small farmers don't have the time or the resources to comply with this onerous requirement, Thompson said. The proposed rule is part of a recent trend in environmental, social, and governance investing, in which investors evaluate those criteria in addition to standard data on business performance. SEC chairman said in March statement he supports the proposed rule because, if adopted, it would provide investors with consistent, comparable, and decision-useful information for making their investment decisions. Okay, so there it is. If you want the big bucks, you gotta comply with the Great Reset. And that's where I'm gonna leave it. Oh, Thompson's bill also includes several provisions relating to fertilizer, reinstating the National Environmental Policy of 2020, streamlining mineral extraction for fertilizer production. You see, they want to dig up the ground and destroy the earth so you can eat your fucking bacon burgers while you're watching the Giants play the Jets or the Vikings play the 49ers at the Super Bowl. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Stupid Americans killing the planet because you're controlled by parasites. Sorry, it's got to be said, and that's why I'm not saying the Great Reset is a bad thing. I don't trust any of them because Klaus Schwab looks like he eats sausage. He's got a really inflamed lower lip filled with blood, which is indicative of the intestine. He probably eats sausage, and he probably drinks human blood. You know, those Illuminati members doing human sacrifice. For fertilizer, specifically phosphate and potash, we need to streamline leasing and permitting processes, Thompson said, citing disruption in supplies of fertilizer from the Russian war on Ukraine. It's critically important to reduce our vulnerability. Alright, I'm done. Lower Food and Fuel Cost Act. I just can't read anymore. Alright? I'm not for the Great Reset. I don't trust any of those people. But I'm not for things as they are either. So we're going to have to come up with a Master Lukey reset. And what that is, it's me becoming successful and being able to supply anybody anywhere with Master Lukey brand products. And you can reset yourself. You can reset your pantry, you can reset your fridge, you can reset your body. Alright, how does that sound? You want help right now till I get this business up and going? I'm turning this building into a commercial food service / inpatient and outpatient clinic. That's my current goal for this building. Among other things, like Master Lukey's League of Champions nonprofit organization. I'm going to get a tour bus and tour the world. But I want to have this place set up so that wherever I go, I can have my products delivered, shipped. Alright? So if you want help right now, hit me up for a consultation. Hit me up for some custom menu items I can make and ship to you or whatever. Alright? Go to masterlukey.com, click on the About page, and you find my 24/7 phone number, email, and social media. Over and out.